Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 1 of At Home with TCTP, 2c3pod, 2's company, 3's a podcast.
My name is Dylan, as always, with my co-host
Mitchell, and as I said, we're at home. So what we're going to do in these little short YouTube nuggets is tell you what we've seen in the last week.
Yes.
What we've watched in the last week at home, whether it's on a streaming service, TV, whatever it is, and we'll tell you what we're going to try and watch in the next week. Something that we're looking forward to at home, not the theatre. That's all for the podcast. Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube Big Summer Blowout.
I was about to get to that to say, hey, but if you like our mini reviews, why don't you check out our podcast? Anyway,
well, there you
this
go.
is YouTube exclusive, as you would have been shown by the thumbnail. Because we obviously have different thumbnails for each of our content. But, however, we're going to go through a movie that we both watched each and go through a couple of ones that we have on the horizon for our home viewing. So
absolutely. Well, I've got
sit back, relax. 2c3pod at home. Take it away. What do you got first?
Yes, the first one I wanted to touch on was one that's been out on Netflix for a little while, a mini-series, 3-parter. Now, if you're a fan of the NFL and true crime, you've probably already seen this, but I got a chance to finally sit down and watch Killer Inside, the story of Aaron Hernandez.
Okay.
Absolutely fascinating story.
Yep.
A guy who would have been a multiple-time Super Bowl champion, but because of personal demons and shit like that, ended up killing motherfuckers. And he's the first and only NFL player ever to play an entire season having killed somebody and not being caught. Like, as in,
shit.
Yeah, he was like accused, he played an entire season of NFL football, and off the field, he was all kinds of fucked up, but nobody knew it yet.
Okay, so from Australia, just a sidebar very quickly, as we do on this show quite often, is how often do you hear about stories like that happening to National Rugby League players?
Exactly. They go and get drunk and abuse people.
And pee in their own mouths, but they don't kill people.
Exactly. But no, this is a fascinating story. 3 1-hour episodes. If you like true crime, you'll love it. If you like NFL, it is just riveting, honestly. Really good series. Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what was the one that you sat down and watched?
So I wish I could take back an hour and 15 minutes of my life. I watched a rubbish movie called Wounds. Now, it's an interesting premise, and the cast is really interesting, and it did premiere at Sundance. So you'd think it was going to be quite good. Anyway, here's my mini description I wrote right after the film. Now, for anybody who listens to the podcast, I only write mini reviews if I didn't like a film.
Bad.
Wounds is a rubbish horror thriller film starring Armie Hammer, Zazie Beetz, Dakota Johnson, about a man who is consistently making terrible decisions in every situation he finds himself in. Working late at a bar, he finds a phone left behind by some young students with some horrible pictures of dead bodies, and is consistently haunted by the phone, which begins to influence the world around him. Lots of CGI cockroaches, boring acting, terrible dialogue, god-awful pacing, a horrendous ending which actually cuts to black as soon as something remotely interesting happens.
Right. That sounds terrible.
But the premise was so good.
No, I remember
there's themes of an occult, and that there's going to be some kind of evil demonic presence that's overtaking them. But you see that maybe once, and then it's gone. And then it's just the story of Armie Hammer's character being a drunken idiot. Oh, God. And they find the phone with dead bodies, and they're like, call the cops. And everybody goes, no. It's like, you dickhead.
Yep. Okay.
And then at the very, very end, I'm going to spoil this for you. There's a friend
not a review.
There's a friend who gets his face cut in a bar fight at the beginning of the film, and his face is wide open and his teeth are coming through, and he doesn't go to the hospital for it because he's a weirdo.
Okay.
The very end, Armie Hammer's drunk as hell, turns up at his house to check if he's okay. All these cockroaches swarm into the room, and then he leans over into his face, and then as the cockroaches swarm the screen to black the screen out, you see some kind of entity exit his mouth, some foreign worm-like thing, and enter the other guy's mouth, and then it cuts to black.
And that's the end of the movie.
So leading up to that point, which would have benefited of being halfway through, it ends there. This movie, Wounds, is fucking rubbish.
Okay.
It's crap.
Well, that's what Dylan watched this week. And okay, so not a positive review.
No.
Meanwhile, I got the chance to also sit down and watch a movie I've been meaning to watch for a long time.
Add it to the list. Take it off the list now.
Take it off the list and it was worth every second. I'll happily watch it any day again. Baby Driver.
Ah, yes, you were telling me about this.
Yes, written and directed by Edgar Wright. Baby Driver is from 2017, and my lord, it is a fantastic time. I got caught up there. It's a fantastic time. Like I said, it's been around the block. I just never got a chance to sit down and actually watch it. It's finally on Netflix Australia right now. so well worth your time. If you enjoy some action, an incredible soundtrack that is consistent throughout, this movie is just everything you need. And Ansel Elgort from The Fault in Our Stars, you know? Yep. Yeah, he's fantastic in this. Kevin Spacey as well. I don't care about personal things that have gone on.
That was before he kind of went a bit weird and did his thing.
He's a tremendous actor. Okay?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I'm admiring his work, not his personal life.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just so good. You got John Hamm, Jamie Foxx. The cast list is stellar. The action is amazing.
As you said, it's a musical without singing.
It's a musical without singing or dancing because there's a constant soundtrack playing. And the only time it's not, he has his earbuds out and there's a slight ringing in the audio because he's got a condition where there's constant ringing, hence why he always has earbuds in to drown that out from an accident when he was a kid. Baby Driver is fantastic. Check it out while you've got it on Netflix. Everybody's got Netflix. Yeah. Everybody check it out. It's really good, and I highly recommend to you. You would love it.
If it's on Netflix, I'll certainly have to check it out.
Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. He's incredible.
Yep.
This movie's incredible. Check it out, Baby Driver. So I got to watch 2 really good things and didn't have to sit through a piece of crap like you.
Yeah, well, lucky you.
So, all right, now to wrap up at home with 2c3pod. What is on your watch list for this week that you're going to try and get a chance to watch?
Yes,
we may not. There's going to be weeks where we don't get a chance to watch anything.
Yeah.
But for now, we're trying to keep up to just watching stuff at home. So what's on your list?
On my watch list this week, I've got 2 that are 2 very different films. Yep. One being very popular and modern. The other one, a bit of an under-the-radar underdog kind of film, but I believe that most horror fans will be familiar with it. First one on my list is Marriage Story, obviously being the horror film, of course. It's a 2019 drama written and directed by and produced by Noah Baumbach?
Baumbach, yeah.
Baumbach, I'm going to say, starring Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver, Laura Dern, and a whole bunch of others as well. Obviously telling the story of a married couple who go through a pretty hectic divorce. And apparently it's very, not necessarily unsettling, but it's upsetting.
Realistic,
yeah. And apparently the acting is fantastic. So that's on my list as well as 3
Oscar winner.
Yes.
Laura Dern. Yes. My apologies.
But on the other end of the spectrum of my watch list this week is a horror kind of film called 3 from Hell.
It was on my list.
Well, I beat
exactly.
to it. So, of course, it's on our list. So,
of course it is.
3 from Hell is the 3rd film in the Thousand Corpses trilogy?
Yeah,
is that what you would call it?
Yeah, I think. No, the Rejects trilogy.
Rejects trilogy.
Yeah,
okay, so you've had House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now 3 from Hell, directed and written by Rob Zombie, of course. Starring Bill Moseley, Richard Brake, Sherry Moon Zombie, which is his wife, and the late Sid Haig, who didn't get a memoriam at the Oscars. No.
That's really disappointing.
Whatever it was called.
That's fucking disappointing.
As well as Luke Perry, wasn't mentioned. Anyway.
Oh, wow, that one's a real surprise. Wow.
Yeah, but these films are fantastic and they're very unique and they'll be on my watch list while Netflix still has 3 from Hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you get a chance to watch both of those.
Yes.
But on my list this week, I'm going to chuck in, of course, because it's new to digital rental, Parasite.
Yes.
We can finally get a chance to watch Parasite and it's at home. I saw it sitting there and I'm going to rent the fuck out of it and finally get a chance to watch that.
Yes.
So everybody knows what Parasite is. I'm not going to get into details, but that's definitely on the watch list now that it's accessible at home. Next on my list, I'm going to chuck in one from Trailer Park 2 weeks ago on the podcast, Horse Girl.
Oh, okay.
The hilarious documentary about bestiality.
Yes.
No, no, not about that. Yeah, no, but Horse Girl, Netflix, check out the trailer. Very weird. Takes a sharp left turn.
Yes.
I'm forgetting her name.
That had the lady from Community. Yes, that's right.
Alison Brie.
That film did look intriguing.
Exactly.
So that's on Netflix?
It's now on Netflix. I just saw
I've just added one to my list.
Like I said, there's 3 from Hell, but also from a couple of weeks ago on Stan, True History of the Kelly Gang.
You haven't checked it out yet?
No, I really want to get a chance to check that out. George McKay, 1917, stellar actor. Trailer looks great.
Russell Crowe, Charlie Hunnam.
Russell Crowe, George McKay. It looks like it has major potential. So those are the 3 that I'm going to be looking out for, along with 3 from Hell.
Yes.
Yeah, we are Two's company, and you just were at home with 2c3pod.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, that's been our YouTube exclusive for the week. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 2c3pod.
Of course, and you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube.
Big Summer Blowout. Feel free to support the show as well, tpublic.com or Patreon. Check out the links below.
That's right. We have an email address for any business inquiries or a PayPal donation because we love you. Two's Company 3's podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely. Now, if you like what we just said and you want to check out more, we have 2 podcasts every week, every Wednesday and every Friday. It's called Two's Company 3's a podcast. Head to the links below. Wednesday is always news and reviews. Fridays is always Yas or Pass.
Of course.
Go check it out there.
That's right. And And where you're watching this on YouTube right now, we have multiple videos every week, so make sure to subscribe and ring that bell, as we're going to say in the end screen clip that's about to come up as well.
Absolutely.
But this has been episode 1 of At Home with 2c3pod.
My name is Dylan, as always, with my co-host
Mitchell. Thanks for checking us out, and don't forget, we are Two's Company, but you are the podcast.
Hey, thanks for checking out that video of Two's Company 3's a podcast. We really appreciate it. Wasn't it really something? Why don't you drop a comment down below while you're still here on what you thought about that video? And once you're done, go check out the next video. Feel free to hit subscribe as well. I think it'll be a really good investment for your future.